All right, y'all. Today we're looking at this boudoir photography business, and for its local searches, city searches, we're going to see if it has BSS. Now we're here in the GBC universe, where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pin video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our graph here, our FSIC graph in white down below. Highest intent peeps on the left. These people searching, boudoir photo shoot in their city today, right now. We talk about how to get these people to come to us in our videos here about BSS. These people discover us, come to us, buy from us. These are highest converting, closest to the money. We got to dominate these people. Then we have on the right, lowest intent peeps. We talked about interfacing with these peeps at our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And talk about BLCS over there. And currently, we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. That's when boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 in Google. 0 slots, that's a fast death. That means we're on page 2 or deeper. And we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So yeah, they're page 1 and done searches, never even hit page 2. That's no bueno. Also, 1 slot on page 1, Google, that's not good either because there's 10 organic slots. It means there's probably going to be 9 other boudoir photographers each with 1 slot. So guess what? We look the same as everyone else. We ain't standing out. We're not dominating. And as a result, what's approximately 80% of boudoir buyers going to do? They're going to click down everyone on page 1 and page 1 only because remember, approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So everyone down page 1, open everyone up, do a contact form for everyone, get a price quote, negotiate, bring down the margins, get more for less, blah, blah, blah. Waste time, and 9 out of 10 of those contact forms ain't even going to buy from us. So, only probably 10% will buy. So, like both these situations, 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google, our business is either dying fast or dying slow, but in both cases, it's dying. And 0, 1 slots to page 1 Google is not normal. It's common and it's accepted, but it's not normal to have such a small number of page 1 links on Google. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, most people know this. People upgrade their iPhones all the time, get new cameras all the time, and eventually more peeps are throwing up their Google My Business profiles and they now shoot boudoir. They throwing up their website saying they do boudoir photography. They post more often in the mom groups on Facebook saying they do boudoir photo shoots. Everyone understands it's kind of natural, it gets more and more competitive over time. Now, this new one is the false belief of page 1 equality. This is new, but because a lot of boudoir photographers basically, kind of without thinking, kind of everyone is auto-accepted. They're like, yeah, as a boudoir photographer, my website will get, I get either 0 or 1 slots, page 1 on Google. If I get 1, cool. If I get 0, cool. And maybe I had page 1 on Google, but now I'm on page 2 of Google. So I'm not on page 1 anymore. And it's like, oh, well, that's simply the game. But no, that's 100% incorrect. That is the false belief of page 1 equality in action. What's actually true is Google actually give us as many slots on page 1 of Google search as we want, or as we want to put in, as we put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days with this new method we discovered. Finally, we know that boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Yeah, I mean, if you got 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google search, you're either disappearing fast or disappearing slow. Both cases were disappearing. And this is kind of like a red flag, a warning light, canary in the coal mine. Or basically, if we are a disappearing boudoir photographer, that means our business is now on the path to disappearing as well. But thankfully, we now have a solution. Discover that BSS boudoir search sameness is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. And it works exactly as the word said, as the title says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there. And that's kind of like snowing, raining at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America, the east side, the backside there. So when that happens, well, it's mostly going to be snow. That snow melts year round. That water flows into small streams and eventually small rivers. And that all flows into the large Amazon River. So the Amazon River is page 1 Google search. So we gotta get the snow at the top of the mountain, saturate social search, to then get stuff to flow down to the Amazon River, page 1 Google search. And that's basically how that's That's how it works. And what's interesting about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually allow the business to still continue to grow, even with current market saturation and growing market saturation, and give them the opportunity relatively quickly. Now, the only other solution I've seen give those same benefits are having a large, well-known brand. But dude, we ain't. Those take 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here. AI is taking people jobs. We do not have 5 to 10 years. So, building a large, well-known brand, that ain't happening anytime soon. But interestingly, with SQ methodology, yeah, we can get some kind of initial more market share, more page one Google slots, all stuff like that, kick our competitors off. But by my estimates, it actually enables the building of a large, well-known brand in the area, in the local area, city, approximately 8x faster than traditional methods, simply because we're being seen across so many more surfaces with a higher volume of time, So it's kind of just natural to build a large, well-known brand, approximately 8x faster. And all right, here's an example of what S-Cube methodology could enable for a boudoir photography business. So we are going to Fairbanks, Alaska, and there are 1 million boudoir photographers there. We are one of them. And we got, we literally, everyone's got their websites and they shoot boudoir, they're boudoir photographers. Everyone's trying to rank page one Google search. They're like, man, we ain't got, a large, well-known brand right now. The only, S-Cube methodology, literally, that's the only way that we can compete. So let's say we take S-Cube methodology, we crank it up to the max, and let's say we take the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords across all of social search, and let's say that flows onto Google search for this highest intent boudoir buyer keywords as well for our city, and we're taking the first 300 slots on Google. So, 10 organic slots per page on Google. So that means we'd be taking up essentially 30 pages. So basically, anyone in our area searching anything related to boudoir photography or boudoir photo shoot in their city. I mean, we're basically the only ones showing up. Social search, Google search, we're basically the only ones that they're seeing. So whose business is most likely growing in this situation? Ours. Whose business most likely failing, disappearing, becoming invisible? Most likely our, the 999,909 other boudoir photographer competitors that are in Fairbanks with us. So again, this is like ultra extreme example, but this is what SQ methodology could enable in, kind of in the most extreme case. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. And so yeah, we're getting more slots page one on Google, like that initial benefit. And then a lot of boudoir photographers actually, their favorite's the second benefit, where every new link we get page one slot on Google, we're actually kicking our competitor off page one Google, putting them page two or deeper, and now we know they're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace, and putting their business on the path to disappearing. So we could literally, by our effort, we can control how many of our competitors actually go, kind of go on the path to disappearing, simply based on our effort. And so it's a fan favorite for boudoir photographers of initial benefit that they can get with S-Cube's methodology. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. And the GBC universe recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search as kind of the minimum baseline recommendation, because basically everyone else can have one slot, page one Google search. So if we got 3 slots, we're dominating them. And in the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots. We got 3, so we're still dominating them. So that's where the 3 out of 10 recommendation comes from. And we also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. So we got our entire universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, either 0 or 1 slots page one Google search, is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality, which we'll see in the next picture. We discovered we know for a fact it's a false belief. And we achieve page one visibility. Well, we utilize SQ methodology to solve that. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. So it's basically our micro universe here. Now here's some results. So this is what I want to super rank for this term, BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate, take over page one Google search. And so I went to work using SQ methodology, so let's see these are results of what I got. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And finally, slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely by using SQ methodology. So if someone's searching this term, who are they clicking on? Who are they coming to? Obviously me. Now, onto the main event here. We're going to see if this boudoir photography business, see if it's got BSS for its local or its city search, see if it's hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google. So let's get into this. We're going to Germantown, Tennessee, and Memphis, Tennessee. All right, so what we got here. We're in Germantown, Tennessee. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, we got one. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 for local search. Let's go to the city. City is always harder to rank for. More people competing. Oh, nice. We got organic slot 1. That's great. We got 1 out of 10. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 here. So we got 1 out of 10 for local. We got 1 out of 10 for Memphis. So yeah, we got BSS for both, and we are hitting the GBC universe recommended minimum. A 3 out of 10. Neither of those searches. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've done local search for the highest intent buyer keywords in your city, and you saw in your local area, and you did a second search in your city, and you saw that you actually do have BSS in one or both of the cities, or you saw that you did not meet the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots, and you're saying, oh, finally, thank the universe, something to finally solve this. SQ methodology is here, so you decide you want to use SQ methodology, and that's because you know page 1 equality is a false belief, which allows you to even look for a solution in the first place. And once you do that, you like the initial benefit, more slots on page 1. You like the other initial benefit, kicking more competitors off of page 1, so that way fewer, your price drop gains way fewer number of boudoir photographers. And you understand the market saturation. Yeah, there's 2 prongs. People get a new iPhone, cool, more boudoir photographers. People get a new camera, cool, more boudoir photographers. But you're actually thinking of this new third prong. You're thinking ahead. You're saying, okay, AI's taking a few people's jobs now. It's going to keep taking more and more people's jobs into the future, into the future, into the future. And as it takes more and more people's jobs into the future, into the future, into the future, you actually want to fortify your position on page 1, prepare for the onslaught of new boudoir photographers, be a force into the market, because look, people still got to earn money. If they lose their job, they got a phone with amazing cameras. So we know new boudoir photographers will always be entering. And so you want to fortify your position, kind of like the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city's like below sea level. So they got to throw the levees up, extra fortification, so they're going to get flooded. So you're seeing that, and you actually saying, okay, SQ methodology can also use for exactly that, fortifying your existing presence, page 1, and across all social search. And you actually want to have page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, and achieve boudoir search visibility, because you need those things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the extra back-end things that SQ methodology does, where if you successfully execute it every day, you're increasing the probability every single day. Well, we execute it every day, that AI overview will recommend you. And that's because when we do SQ methodology, we're actually building these invisible thematic keyword columns for AI search to take in, kind of occupy more and more AI mind space or brain space in all these different AIs. So we're building different invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of like columns with Parthenon, Athens, and Greece, or like hub and spoke, like a bicycle tire, or where the hub in the middle are, or at least our business name across all socials and our website is the hub in the middle. And as we build these up more, we got more frequency, more authority, more relevance, more age. So all these increase the probability of us being recommended for the premium placement AI overview, and us being recommended in all the AI search platforms, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. And as a result, kind of this like invisible momentum we can build up. And you're saying you decide you're going to be the first one in your city to do this, because that my current plan right now is working with only one boudoir photographer at a time. So you can actually close out all your competitors from doing this, get all these initial benefits, build up this invisible momentum, put a massive gap between you and the current boudoir photographers, and especially the future boudoir photographers that will eventually become boudoir photographers as AI eats more and more jobs. And you also know doing SQ methodology also supremely speeds up forming your own brand. So it helps compete against current market saturation, and doubly so, helps your brand become a household name way faster. My estimate is probably 8 times faster than traditional ways. Just because, dude, we're everywhere all the time. Social search, Google search, AI search. Just people won't be able to get away from us. And on the flip side, you see that if another competitor, if one of your competitors in your city works with me, and we do all those things for them, they get all those initial benefits, and the momentum built up for the secondary later on benefits. Then what actually happens is there's a big gap between me and your competitor, and then you. And to close that gap, you got to increase the well, first you got to rederive or derive for yourself the first time execute methodology, how it actually works and how to successfully implement it. And then you got to go execute it day, and equal our effort. And if you do that correctly, well, you're never going to be 100% confident executing it because you'll never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. But even if you're equaling all our effort, you're simply maintaining the gap between me and your competitor and you. And so to outcompete us, you got to rederive it correctly, figure it out all correctly, and then you got to out execute us by like 2 or 3x. And it's like, dude, who's got the 80 hours in the day to do all that? So you decide to screw that. It's better for you to actually be the first mover in your city, lock out all your competitors from using this, and kind of roll this to victory. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when my DMs open. My DMs are currently closed. The hospital is currently closed to new patients. But when I do open my DMs, shoot me a DM, and we will see if you qualify to utilize S cubed methodology.